who keep on entering the Zoom teleconference. We are so excited that you can join our webinar today. So please note that please be with us because as soon as we start share screening, we could no longer admit participants because we only have one host. So kindly join. And so we are all excited to learn and looking forward to start this week for a new perspective about mental health session 2. So now we are going to learn the mindfulness practices already. So please, and we have the same speaker as well. So we'll keep on admitting you guys. Just keep entering in our Zoom call and requesting all our mayors to please encourage your classmate to attend this webinar that was meant for you. So we can only give to the e-certificates for those students who can join the Zoom teleconference, and you are entitled to have the Zoom in e-certificates as soon as you are able to register and finish the evaluation after the webinar. So thank you for taking interest in our webinar. I hope we are all on board. Time check, it's already 9:19 a.m. and we bring you the webinar. So before we start, Sir Takasan, can you share screen for a few reminders? Hello, sir. Hello, Sir Takasan. Okay. So next, sir. So friendly reminders, mute your microphone, and to help keep background noise to a minimum, make sure you mute your microphone when you are not speaking. So be mindful of background noise and position your camera properly. Have your video on unless you are experiencing connection issues, and keep your comments helpful and considerate. If you have questions, we have open forum after the discussion, and you are free to ask relevant questions. So answer the evaluation form after the webinar. So thank you very much, and I give the floor to our MC, Miss Tomas. Miss Tomas. Do we have our MC already? Okay, I think he is not yet around. So it's my honor and privilege to you to give the floor to our branch director, Dr. Karen Reyes Redoblado, DBM, to help us welcome and open our webinar session 2. Ma'am, good morning, ma'am.
Good morning. Thank you, Ma'am Love. Dr. Christy Jean Viganiera, our college president, Dr. Sendo Merawan, our vice president for the academic affairs, fellow instructors, to our resource person, Ma'am Dawn, my dear students, ladies and gentlemen, a pleasant morning to you all. So it is of great honor and pleasure for me to be able to welcome you to this mental health awareness webinar. So mental health includes our emotional, psychological, and social well-being. So it affects and show how we think, feel, and act. This means that our mental health influences how we handle stress, relate to others, and make choices. All of us experience varying stressors in our everyday lives. So our ability to cope and handle these stressors provides a glimpse of our mental health. So it is a great pleasure to be here today to open this webinar, which provides a valuable opportunity to highlight the positive steps that can be taken to promote mental health and well-being. So I'm sure that today's discussion will highlight the various barriers that can at times prevent students from different backgrounds from seeking and accessing help with mental health issues. So discussions like this are important in building an understanding of the fact that mental health issues affect students or people from all walks of life, men and women of all ethnicities and from all socio-economic backgrounds. So promoting mental health and well-being requires an understanding of cultural diversity, including respect for difference and a willingness to learn and acceptance of different ways of viewing the world. Studies suggest that the mental health trends of many students are not much different to that of students overall. So, however, there are some factors that may affect, like such as language barriers, underemployment, employment, isolation, separation from the family. It is also are often associated with mental health problems such as anxiety and depression, and can be felt acutely by individuals. So cultural differences, homesickness, discrimination, the stigma of seeking assistance, and a lack of knowledge of available support can aggravate these problems. So the theme to this mental health webinar is integrating mindfulness to everyday life. So that for me, the theme sets a number of goals towards achieving this. Number one is to connect, develop your relationships with your friends, family, colleagues, and neighbors, as this connection supports you or support you and enrich your life. Next thing is take notice. Be aware of the world around you and see the beauty in everyday and unusual things. Reflect on them to appreciate what matters to you. The third one, learn. Try something new or rediscover an old interest or take on a new responsibility or challenge. Learning inspires confidence. And lastly, give. Do something for a friend or stranger and see yourself and your happiness linked to the wider community. So as I mentioned, mental health issues are common and can affect any one of us. So the reality is that almost half of all students will suffer from mild to moderate mental health problems at some stage during their life. And it is crucial that as an institution, we can provide you the help that you deserve. So an important part of ensuring well-being is the assurance that all CVSCians, regardless of their culture, are aware of and are able to access the help and services they need. So it is important that we encourage individuals with mental health issues to seek help, because through early detection, we can assure that mental illness does not have to be a life sentence. So it is no longer seen as something that doesn't affect us, but rather as something that affects our friends, family, neighbors, and even our communities. So I am sure that you will agree that Mental Health Awareness Month or Week is vitally important in raising awareness of the continuing need to make mental health a priority for all students, not or for all students, but for all people. And thank you.
Good morning, Doc. Thank you so much for your um, very inspirational message. And with that, we will proceed for the introduction of our resource speaker for today's webinar. Is Miss Tomas around?
Yes po, good morning. Sorry I'm late.
Okay po, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Apo, thank you po.
Okay, so for now, let's proceed for the introduction of the speaker. May I call on our guidance and testing coordinator, Ma'am Lovely B. Asur, registered psychometrician. Hello, Nance Ma'am Asur.
Hello, good morning. So for the introduction of speaker, since nawala ang connection ni Ma'am Lovely, so we will just proceed right away. Kasi this is our second session for our webinar. So may I request Miss Dawn?
Hello. Hello, good
Hello.
morning.
Hello, good morning, ma'am.
Yes, good morning. Hi everyone. Good morning.
Good morning,
It is
ma'am.
yeah,
Good
it is such a
morning.
wonderful privilege to be with you again today. And before I start, I'll just share my screen first. Okay. Can you share? Can you see my screen?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, that's good. All right. So again, good morning, everyone. So today, I'm gonna talk about mindfulness in everyday life. So just a little recap. Last Monday, we talked about the basics of the mental health. So what is mental health? The importance of mental health. Um, Stress. How can stress affects us? And the micro practices to well-being. And one of the micro practices to well-being is the mindfulness. So today we're gonna dig deeper about mindfulness. So just a while. Okay, before we start, we are going to have a quick well-being check. So we we used this last time. We did this last time. So again, we're gonna do this again today. So you can type your answers in the chat box. So how are you feeling today? Do you feel happy? Do you feel sad, sleepy, hungry? So okay. You can share your answers at chat box. Feel free to share. Okay. Can the moderator read po the answers? Or the ano? Okay, I can see my chat box now. So, happy, good, happy, I'm blessed. I feel hungry. Hindi pa ata ito nag-breakfast. Kumain tayo bago mag-ano para si brain is can process this topic. And then feel good, blessed, happy, and blessed, blessed, happy, happy. Yes, I'm blessed that I woke up this morning, happy, happy yet tired, mentally stable. That's good. Happy and thankful. Fighting, yes, fighting. All right. So thank you so much, everyone, for your sharing. And okay, so today's takeaways, we have 3 takeaways for the webinar today. And the first one is understanding mindfulness. What is mindfulness? We always hear mindfulness, but do we really understand the word mindfulness? And the next one is mindlessness in numbers. And the third one is small steps in. So, ano ba si mindfulness? What is mindfulness? According to John Kabat-Zinn, he is an American professor and the creator of the stress reduction technique. Mindfulness is paying attention in a particular way on purpose in the present moment and non-judgmentally. So as you can see, John Kabat-Zinn defined mindfulness in 4 aspects. The first one is paying attention, meaning our full focus is in the subject. The second one is on purpose. On purpose meaning we are intentional, we are willing to give our attention to the subject. The third one is the present moment or the right here and right now. Not in the past, not in the future, but what is going on right now. The right here kung saan ka and the right now. And next one is non-judgmentally. So not labeling the subject as something good or something bad. So in this sense, mindfulness is a state or circumstance. For example, ano yung nangyayari ngayon? And not a trait or character like being hardworking, for example. Basically, it's a practice of being aware. Mindfulness is a practice of being aware of your mind, your body, your feelings, and the environment without being overwhelmed by what's going on around us. So, for example, as a student, we all go through with exams, right? So, if you have an upcoming exams and you are getting stressed by this, and on top of this, you have family problem or conflict with your family or friends. So of course, when you know that when you're stressed, it reduces your performance. But if we apply the mindfulness technique or we practice the mindfulness technique, one of its benefits is to reduce stress. And therefore, if reduce stress, we may set a context of better learning. So again, mindfulness, according to John Kabat-Zinn, he defined it in 4 aspects. The first is paying attention. The second one is on purpose. The third is the present moment. And the last is non-judgmentally. So we're going to highlight the present moment or the right here and right now. So ano ba yung being present? How can we know or achieve the right here and the right now moment? So the first one is avoid multitasking. So a little trivia, there is no such thing as multitasking. So multitasking is a myth because when we do multitask, it's actually attention switching. So because our mind only process one signal after another. So hindi nakakapag-process si mind ng dalawang signal. For example, you are studying and then may nanonood ka ng TV, you're watching TV. So si mind can only process one signal. So yung pagsa-study mo lang, not the watching TV, not the watching TV, for example. And then, it slows things down. So kapag nag-attention switching ka, it slows things down and we lose our focus on what we are doing. So kung mapapansin nyo, habang nagsa-study kayo, tapos nanonood kayo ng TV, nade-distract kayo, nawawala kayo sa focus nyo sa binabasa nyo, yun, sa binabasa nyo na book, for example, kasi yung focus nyo napunta doon sa panonood ng TV. And this creates stress if we always switch our attention. And there's a study also that states na we are so addicted to our digital things like our cell phone, our laptop, our TVs, any digital thing. So according to the study, we check our phones 150 times every day. So this is before COVID. So how much more ngayon now we are so busy using our cell phones, diba? So it's mas tumaas pa siya sa 150 times. And then it takes 64 seconds also to get your full attention back to your studying. When you, for instance, check your phone while studying. So, meaning kapag nagsistudy ka, tapos out of bigla, as in like bigla mo lang kukunin yung phone mo and you just check your phone and then ibabalik mo ulit si phone, ilalapag mo ulit si phone. And then it takes 64 seconds or 1 minute and 4 seconds for you to get your full attention back sa binabasa mo na book. So, as you can see, attention switching creates tension in our mind and it creates stress. Kasi nasa-stress ka, ano nga ulit yung binasa ko? Mauulit na naman ako. Saan ba akong part na nag-stop? So, diba? It creates stress. Therefore, at risk tayo for developing mental health problems pag ganon. And the next is get in touch with your senses. So, get in touch, ano yung nakikita mo, what can you see, what can you hear, what can you feel, what can you smell, what can you taste. So, getting in touch, you name it. Like, I can see, for example, I can see my screen or my presentation, my slides right now. So, ano yung naririnig ko? I can hear the sound of the electric fan, for example, ganon. And then the next one is veer away from distraction or putting aside mga distractions like cell phone while you are reading or TV, for example, another example. Anything that distracts you. This may be your phone or email, answering emails, anything that takes away your full attention to the present moment. So next is, ano ba yung mga benefits ni mindfulness? What are the benefits of mindfulness? So the benefits of mindfulness are first, reduce rumination. Rumination, it is continuously thinking about the same thoughts. So nag-ruminate ka. So according to there are several studies that shown that mindfulness reduces rumination. So one study, the researchers asked 20 people. Okay, so the researchers asked 20 people who had no background of practicing mindfulness before. So nag-gather sila ng 20 people na walang wala any background of mindfulness practice before. So they asked the 20 people to participate in a 10-day
Yes, Rocky.
10-day intensive mindfulness
Hangit man mo,
and
brown.
meditation retreat. And then after the retreat, after the 10-day retreat, the meditation group had significantly higher self-reported mindfulness and a decreased negative affect compared with the control group. So makikita mo yung impact ng mindfulness kasi they had significantly higher self-reported mindfulness. So they are being aware and a decreased negative affect. So negative emotions mas bumaba compared dun sa control group. So they also experience fewer depressive symptoms and less rumination. Kasi when you do mindfulness, diba, kanina as what I said dun sa definition is being present. So meaning hindi ka nagru-ruminate like in the future or sa past. So being present. And the next one is stress reduction. So stress reduction, there is this mindfulness training. This mindfulness training has also been linked to lower stress level. So kapag stress ka ngayon, then you can practice mindfulness para to lower your stress level. So one example is that there is this study who found cancer patients who took part in mindfulness training. They reported that they had significantly reduced self-reported stress than those who did not. So they also displayed greater positive states of mind and fewer post-traumatic avoidance symptoms such as loss of interest in activities. So this one is really proven then as one of the benefits of mindfulness, the stress reduction. The third one is boost to working memory. So boost to working memory, so it improves the working memory, our working memory according to research. So a 2010 study, for example, documented the benefits of mindfulness meditation among a military group who participated in an 8-week mindfulness training. So, nag-gather sila ng military group. Yung research, they gathered military group to participate in an 8-week or 2 months mindfulness training. So, nag-gather din sila ng non-meditating military group and a group of non-meditating civilians or we are the civilians. So, both military groups were in a highly stressful period before the deployment. So, very stress, you know, diba, sa military, parang grabe din yung stress nila. Grabe ang impact ng stress nila. So, they gathered, they gathered non-meditating military group and the meditating military group. So, the researchers found that the non-meditating military group had decreased working memory capacity over time. So, bumaba yung working memory nila. Whereas, yung working memory naman sa non-meditating civilians was stable across time. So, stable lang, hindi nagbabago. But, ang meditating military group, however, working memory capacity nag-increase with meditation practice. So, di ba, you can see when you compare the groups, you can see that mindfulness really has an effect in terms sa working memory dun sa group who participated sa mindfulness meditation. So in addition, meditation practice was directly related to self-reported positive affect and inversely related to self-reported negative affect. So makikita nyo, may effect talaga siya sa emotions din natin. Not just a working memory. The next one is attention and focus. So attention and focus. So there's another study examined how mindfulness meditation affected participants' ability to focus attention and suppress distracting information. So suppress means parang i-suppress mo, parang i-bury mo siya. So the researchers compared a group of experienced mindfulness meditators with a control group that had no meditation experience. So there are two groups. The first group is yung mga experienced mindfulness meditators, and then the second group is the control group, yung walang experience sa meditation. So they found that the meditation group, the first group, had significantly better performance on all measures of attention. So nakita nila yung performance na mas tumaas on all measures of attention and had higher self-reported mindfulness. So you can see mindfulness meditation practice and self-reported mindfulness were correlated. So meaning may relationship sila directly with cognitive flexibility and attentional functioning. So makikita nyo, kung mapapansin nyo, mindfulness, hindi lang siya for, it cannot only affect our emotion, but it can also affect our cognitive functions. And next benefit is the less emotional reactivity. So this one, there's one of the study's evidence is to support the role of mindfulness meditation in emotional reactivity. So in an emotional interference task conducted by the researchers in 2007, so participants with wide-ranging experience, so meaning napaka-experiensyado na nila in mindfulness meditation, were asked to categorize tones that were given either 1 or 4 seconds after a neutral or emotional upsetting picture was presented. So, there's a group na they are very experienced na sa mindfulness meditation. So, they were presented by a picture, emotionally upsetting picture. And then those with more experiencing practicing mindfulness meditation were better able to disengage emotionally. So yung group na yon, even if they had, they were being presented with an emotionally upsetting picture, they were able to disengage emotionally better. So meaning that they showed greater focus on the task at hand, even when emotionally upsetting pictures were shown. So for example, may ginagawa ka, you are reading a book, and then may nakita ka sa TV na very, or let's say, yung flash floods, for example, yung nangyari sa Cagayan Valley, and then you were reading a book and then you saw it. So kung si wide range mindfulness meditation group, even if they saw that picture or that video sa nangyari sa Cagayan Valley, they can still perform better sa pag ginagawa nila because they know that mindfulness meditation really can affect their emotional reactivity. So hindi sila masyadong na-engage doon sa picture. So that's what mindfulness can do sa emotions natin. And then the next one is more cognitive flexibility. Or cognitive flexibility, it refers to the brain's ability to transition from thinking about one concept to another. Like for example, shifting from the color of the object to the shape of the object. The color of the object is red, and then the shape of the object is triangle. So another line of research suggests that in addition to helping people become less reactive, mindfulness meditation may also give them greater cognitive flexibility. So one study found that people who practice mindfulness meditation appear to develop the skill of self-observation, which neurologically disengages the automatic pathways that were created by prior learning and enables present moment input to be integrated in a new way. So for example, naglalakad ka and then may nakita kang ice cream. Tapos at on the other side of the road, may nakita kang nagbebenta ng mangga. So if you have good cognitive flexibility, ma-identify mo siya agad na ay ayun ice cream and that the other na binebenta is mangga. And then the next one is relationship satisfaction. So several studies find that a person's ability to be mindful can help predict relationship satisfaction. So it is the ability to respond well to relationship stress and the skills in communicating one's emotions to a partner. So there is this evidence, empirical evidence suggests that mindfulness protects against the emotional stressful effects of relationship conflict and is positively associated with the ability to express oneself in various social situations and predicts relationship satisfaction. So if you are being mindful, hindi ka agad, for example, you are having conflict, hindi ka agad nagre-react. So you know when to respond. You know what emotions ang ipapakita mo because that can lead to relationship satisfaction. So again, the benefits of mindfulness is reduce rumination, stress reduction, boost to working memory, attention, and focus, less emotional reactivity, more cognitive flexibility, relationship satisfaction. And all of these are proven through research. So next, okay, we're gonna go to stress. So we tackled last time ano si stress. So again, we're gonna go through lang konti sa stress. So what is stress? Stress is the physiological or psychological response to internal or external stressors. It involves changes affecting nearly every system of the body, influencing how people feel and behave. So quick review about stress. For example, you have a conflict with your co-workmate, then or classmate. So when you get stressed, it affects the way you think. So kapag naapektuhan na si brain, maapektuhan din si behavior. How will you respond to the stressor? If you're going to fight the stressor, or to flight. To fight, ang behavior na lalabas dyan is makikipag-away ka ba kay classmate, or to flight, or aalis ka na lang. So, but, again, stress is not detrimental to our health when present in the right way. So according to Dr. Bruce Perry, stress is essential to healthy development, and it is the essential element of building resilience. So again, stress hindi po siya bad thing. It can only be a bad thing when we cannot handle stress properly, and it can affect our mental health mental health life. So again, however, ito, so si stress, this one is stress from problems in living our new reality. So ito yung parang we experience ngayon during the COVID. So this one is the result of the research from the UP Diliman. So according to the stress according to this research, ito yung mga stress. So the first one is anxiety and uncertainty about the future. So, as you can see, di ba, grabe ang pag-rise up sa anxiety during this time of COVID. So, as you can remember sa numbers na present ko before, nag times 2 times 3 yung nare-receive nilang calls dun sa usap, yung sa kapag when you get problem, you can call anytime to them to help you with your mental health problem. So, nag-times 2, nag-times 3 yung calls nila due to anxiety and uncertainty about the future. So, because of COVID, a lot of us are very uncertain about the future. So, it can create stress. Kasi especially those who are experiencing who lost their jobs, for example, anong papakain ko, saan ako maghanap ulit ng trabaho, ganun. And the next one is difficulty adjusting to the changes at work, finances, home life, even sa school, yung mga modules, for example, sa mga estudyante. So, everyone is having difficulty adjusting to it. So, di ba, like work from home, mag-a-adjust ka nun. Sa finances, yung mga nawalan ng trabaho. Sa home life, for example, sa relationship. Kasi, relationship with your family, kasi you can see them every day. So, you are adjusting also. And then sa modules, kasi diba nasanay na we get used sa face-to-face. So, ngayon, nagmo-module na lang tayo. So, difficulty adjusting siya. And then the next stress is boredom, isolation, loneliness, or depression. So, since we are in a lockdown, quarantine, hindi tayo nakakalabas with our friends. We are being isolated, so we feel lonely, and this might lead to depression. So that's why it's very important also to really reach out to your group of friends, even if virtual lang. And the next one is increased family conflicts, parenting challenges. So, kasi as what I've said kanina, we spend like 24/7 sa bahay. So, the more na maraming hindi may mga bagay na hindi pinagkakasunduan. So, it can really increase family conflicts and parenting challenges kasi how do you parent your children, diba? So, sa mga parents dyan, I think they can relate this parenting challenges. And the next one is fear of getting sick or infecting others. So, madaming natatakot na baka nasa-stress tayo na baka mahawaan tayo ng COVID or kung kaya makakahawa tayo ng sakit. Especially if sipon, lagnat, if you are having flu and then siyempre natatakot ka, what if mahawaan mo si family members, right? So, now, we're gonna go into our next takeaway, the mindlessness, the numbers. So, ano ba si mindlessness? Si mindlessness is the opposite of mindfulness. So, according to one researcher, mindfulness has many synonyms. You can call it awareness, you can call it attention, focus, presence, or you can call it vigilance. But the opposite is not just mindlessness, but you can call mindlessness also as distractedness, inattention, and lack of engagement. So basically, mindlessness is like we are doing something, but our mind is somewhere else. So these are the numbers ni mindlessness. So first one is more than 90% of the time you are an autopilot. Ano ba yung autopilot? Autopilot means enabling you to carry on doing tasks quickly, accurately, and without conscious thought. So many of us utilize the stored or the mindless information, yung mga na-store natin na information before we collected, yung na-store natin na information na na-collect natin over time on a daily basis and failing to realize that we are, kumbaga, we are stuck. Na lagi na lang natin siyang parang umiikot-ikot na lang. So, hindi siya, para siyang bilog, para siyang bola, lagi na lang, or tire, laging umiikot. So the brain or our command center enjoys this mindless approach since it uses less energy. So for example, when we go home from school, 'di ba kapag uuwi tayo, alam na natin yung gagawin natin. We don't really have to to think ano yung next kong gagawin kasi we know na kapag uwi ka sa school, ano yung sasakyan mo, mag-aantay ka ng bus ba, ng tricycle, or ng ano yung means of transportation na sasakyan mo. So, kapag yun, alam mo na, mag-aantay ka, and then kahit nagsiselfone ka, okay lang yan. Tapos may biglang dumaan na bus, tapos sasakay ka sa bus, tapos pagsakay mo sa bus, alam mo na kung saan ka bababa. 'Di ba? So, yan yung autopilot. So, hindi mo talaga siya iniisip kung ano yung next na gagawin mo. And then, kasi kung naka-autopilot tayo, hindi natin na-exercise si mind. Tama? So, kapag hindi natin na-exercise si mind, kakalawangin siya. So, magra-rush siya. So, what do we do then? So, okay, mindfulness is the key. So, being mindful requires both practice and the state of mind. So, the more you exercise your brain in this way, like any workout, the more the mind begins a shift. So, this type of workout creates greater mental effectiveness, allowing you to realize more of your potential and on a personal level. So, for example, kapag uuwi ka na, okay, magiging, make yourself aware na, okay, ngayon, I'm gonna go home, so ang hihintayin kong jeep, you make yourself aware kung ano yung next steps mo. By through that, may exercise mo sa mind. Kahit alam mo na yung next step, but you have to really exercise your mind. And the next one is 95% of the thought you have today, you also had yesterday. So, in 2005, so the National Science Foundation published an article summarizing research on human thoughts per day. So it was found that the average person has about 12,000 to 60,000 thoughts per day. So of those 1,000 of thoughts, 80% were negative. So negative daw yung mga thoughts, 80% doon. And 95% were exactly the same repetitive thoughts as the day before. So 95% of the thought, you have today, you also had yesterday. So there was another interesting study in which scientists found that firstly, 85% of what we worry about never happens. So 85% daw sa thoughts natin na we worry, hindi nangyayari. And then 15% of the worries, 15% sa thoughts yung sa worry natin ay nangyayari, and then 79% of the subjects discovered that either they could handle the difficulty better than expected or that the difficulty taught them a lesson worth learning. So the conclusion is that 97% of our worries are baseless and result from an unfounded pessimistic perception. So kung ikaw worrier ka, sa mga worrier dito, 97%, meaning 3% lang ang totoo nun. So 97% are baseless. So walang katotohanan. So these baseless worries are a major source of stress, 'di ba? Kapag nag-worry ka, nasi-stress ka. And tension and cause of exhaustion, not only for the mind, but also for the physical body. So kapag nag-worry ka, tapos nasi-stress si mind, so eventually, kapag nasistress si mind, naapektahan yung ating physical body. So how do we manage our mind? Again, the secret is mindfulness. So meaning the right here, the right now, being present at the moment and not thinking about what will happen in the future, or of course we have to think what will happen in the future, but do not ruminate. Okay. Okay, the next one is 46.9% of the time your attention is wandering. So meaning, nagwa-wander kung saan-saan. So did you know that a wandering mind is not a happy mind? Of course, humans spend a lot of time thinking about what is not going on around them. So we contemplate events that happened in the past. So meaning, lagi nating iniisip yung mga events na nangyari before and the events na mangyayari in the future. Or even yung events na hindi na-happen, hindi nangyari at all. So, indeed, mind wandering appears to be the human brain's default mode of operation. So, default mode meaning, ano na siya, parang, kumbaga, siya na yung default natin, or siya na yung parang, kumbaga, hindi na natin siya kailangan pang i-switch into something kasi siya na si default. So how do we change this? Again, mindfulness. So as you can remember, one of the benefits of mindfulness is reduce rumination, or to reduce continuously thinking the same thoughts para hindi na siya mag-wander. So, okay. Especially kapag madami kang problems, di ba? Automatic mag-iisip ka ng something na out of the context na. So, nagwa-wonder na si mind. The next one is less than 1/3 of people know what emotion they are experiencing. Okay, so let's have a 30-second emotional check-in. So, do you know what emotion you are experiencing right now? Okay, so we can take time to examine your emotions. Sige, go. You can close your eyes. You can close your eyes if mas focus kayo, mas nakakapag-focus kayo. And then as you close your eyes, take time to examine your emotions. What you feel right now, like are you happy, or just examine your emotions. And okay, as you examine your emotions, name that emotions you feel. I feel sad. I feel joyful. It could be anger. Just name it lang. Anxious, or I'm excited. I'm confused. Just name your emotions without giving judgment. So examine your emotions. As you examine it, name your emotions. Name your emotions without giving judgment. And as you become aware of your emotions, take a deep breath to release it. You can take 3 deep breaths to release it. Okay, so how was it? Did you know what emotion you are experiencing? Okay, sige, share your answers sa chat box so that everyone will know. Okay, mixed emotions. Feel troubled, tired, Okay, anxious, tired. Okay, so as you can see, di ba, very specific yung mga emotions niyo. So meaning, you are aware of what you feel right now. So ito si mixed emotion. So madami. So dapat ma-name natin ano yung mga mix, ano yung mga emotions na nag-mix mo. Like, troubled ka ba? Tired ka ba? Happy ka ba? Sad ka ba? Okay? So, what we just did is, being mindful of our emotions. So, it's one practice of mindfulness. So, being aware of our emotions help us know and accept ourselves. So, if we continue to practice that one, mabibelong tayo dito sa less than one-third. So as you can see, two-thirds of people ang hindi alam kung ano yung emotion na na-experience nila. So if you continue to practice that one, we belong to this less than one-third. So alam na natin kung ano yung emotion. Malalaman na natin kung ano yung emotion na ating nararamdaman. So being aware of our emotions help us know kung sino tayo and help us accept ourselves. So remind yourself na walang good or bad emotions because emotions come and go. But kung ano yung response natin sa emotions, doon tayo magbe-base if it's a good or it's a bad. So don't judge your feelings. So just keep noticing and naming them. So name your emotions to tame them. Okay? So last is, if you lack self-awareness, you only have 4% chance of successfully managing yourself. So if you lack self-awareness, you only have 4% chance. So sobrang baba. Kasi 4% lang chance of successfully managing yourself. So mindfulness results in better cognitive functions. Diba? One of the benefits. Better cognitive function, we have better memory, increased concentration, and faster reaction time, and advanced level of even leadership qualities. So as your mindfulness increases, perception of oneself starts to change. So kapag aware na tayo, kapag mas napapractice na natin si mindfulness, magbabago na yung self-perception natin, and more specifically, mas stronger na siya. Mas stronger na stronger na sa confidence natin sa self. We have strong self-confidence. Okay, now we're gonna go sa small steps, big impact. So last talk is a micro practice to well-being. So mga practical ways ni mental health before. And now we're gonna go sa small steps, big impact. Practical ways ni mindfulness. So ano ba yung mga practical ways ni mindfulness? The first one is meditate daily. So you may be asking, what's the difference between meditation and mindfulness? So basically, mindfulness is really profound. So we define mindfulness as a moment-to-moment awareness or the being present of one's experience without judgment. So present ka lang, you just acknowledge the subject, just acknowledge what you feel, pero hindi mo siya bibigyan ng judgment. Meditation, on the other hand, is a precise technique for resting the mind and attaining a state of consciousness that is totally different from the normal waking state. So, we can practice mindfulness through meditation. So, kumbaga, si mindfulness yung puno, si meditation yung sanga. One of the sanga. And that's what we call mindful meditation. So for example, we sit quietly, and focus on your natural breathing. So, to allow your thoughts to come and go without judgment and return to your focus. So, if, syempre, our mind, laging nagwa-wander si mind. So, if your mind wanders, or if your mind, if you keep on daydreaming, ibalik mo ulit siya. Gently redirect your mind to the present. So, ganun si meditate daily. And then, the second one is practice the pause. So, practice the pause. Ano ba yung practice the pause? For example, you had an argument with your family member with one of your family members, or kaya si girlfriend or si boyfriend mo, then your emotions are high kapag may conflict, di ba? Kasi as we discussed before, nagiging high yung emotions natin kasi si amygdala, the part of our brain, na-activate siya. So kapag high si emotions, hindi tayo makakapag-isip ng maayos. 'Di ba? Kaya nagre-react tayo. So kapag nagre-react tayo, mas lalong nagiging it can aggravate the conflict. And when we practice the pause technique, we become aware of our emotions. So you don't have, example, nagka-conflict kayo, you don't have to react, you don't have to rebut na magsalita ka agad to respond. No, we have to practice the pause. Because when we practice the pause technique, we can name our emotions. Okay, parang yung emotions ko ngayon, galit na galit ako. And kapag alam mo na yung emotions mo, you will know na kapag galit na galit ako, kapag nagsalita ako ng not good, and then, mas lalong ma-aggravate yung situation. And so, kapag we practice the pause, alam natin yung emotions natin, we can name our emotions, we can choose our response, rather than autopilot right into reactivity. So, autopilot meaning, yung parang hindi na natin kailangan pang mag-isip. Di ba, when we are reacting, hindi na natin kailangan pang mag-isip kasi default na natin to react. Di ba? So, kapag we practice our pause, we exercise our mind as well. So, practicing to pause is, ito very important, practicing to pause is intentional. So, it doesn't come naturally. So, practice until it becomes a habit. And then, when it becomes a habit, it becomes your character. Masasama na siya sa character mo. Okay, the next one is control your thoughts. Our thoughts, kasi diba, our thoughts love to wander. Okay, so we have to control our thoughts. So our thoughts can go a long way, and it can even lead us to negative and even harmful destinations. Like, for example, being disconnected to the reality. So, when we take our thoughts captive, we are helping our mind to become healthy and being aware of our potential. So, for example, crush mo si Korean, may crush ka na Korean artista. So, grabe na yung thoughts na, grabe na yung pag-wander ng thoughts mo. So, nadi-disconnect ka na sa reality na siya lang talaga, siya lang napapansin mo. So, kahit napaka-imposible naman nun, kasi nasa Korea siya, at ikaw nasa Philippines, so, 'di ba, parang you have to really control your thoughts para hindi ka ma-disconnect sa reality. So, napaka-importante talaga to really captivate your thoughts. And lastly, is a growth mindset. So, ano ba yung growth mindset? A growth mindset means we thrive on challenge and sees failure not as evidence of an not as evidence of an intelligence, but as a heartening springboard for growth and for stretching our existing abilities. So, ito naman si growth mindset. Ito siya yung uh, parang this leads us to a desire to learn and therefore a tendency to embrace challenges, persist in the face of setbacks, see effort as the path to mastery, learn from criticism, and find lessons and inspiration in the success of others. So, yung mga, for example, yung mga tycoons ngayon, for example, si SM, si Henry C, may-ari ng SM. So, before si SM, si Henry C, tagalinis lang ng sapatos. And then, meron siyang growth mindset. So, even if tagalinis siya ng sapatos, even if na-fail siya, but hindi yung failure yung nag-drive, hindi yung failure yung parang na-upset na siya because he failed. But what drives him is yung failure, yung failure na yung nagpatakbo sa kanya to success. So, yung desire niya to learn and to embrace challenges. So, alam niya na kahit may challenges, kailangan niya pa rin mag-move forward to go to the success. Diba? So, even if we face setbacks, if we have growth mindset, then we can overcome those setbacks and failures. Okay, so according to Eduoko Yenikan, the mind is just like a muscle. So the more you exercise it, the stronger it gets, and the more it can expand. So I think this is the last slide that I have before we go. Oh, okay, I have one pa. We have this. Okay, before this reflective question, do you guys have questions or clarifications? May mga tanong po ba tayo? Or gusto nang i-clarify regarding sa topic natin? Okay, I think none. So, okay, we're gonna go sa ating reflective question. So, you can share your answers sa chat box. So, in practical ways, how will you apply mindfulness in your everyday life? So, in practical ways, how will you apply mindfulness in your everyday life? Okay, ito, question natin pang exercise para kay brain. So, being mindful. Okay, let's practice mindfulness. Ano ba yung practical ways kung paano ko ma-apply si mindfulness? So, it helps us to become aware of our thoughts. You can type your answers sa chat box. Okay, guys. May gusto ba mag-share ng kanilang thoughts? Or ano na lang, para kung medyo mahirap yung ating tanong, you can just share what you have learned or what struck you the most sa ating sa ating topic for today. Okay, so according to Ma'am Lovely, live in the present, learn from the past, and be hopeful in the future. Wow, true. That is parang pillars, kumbaga, ni mindfulness. Okay, know your priorities and put love in everything you do. Yes, true. Stay grateful at all times. Yes, of course. Very, very good reminder for all of us. Stay grateful at all times. Kasi what we feel or what our emotions is again not bad or good, but how we respond is that's how we think na kung bad ba siya or good ba siya. Set first goals. Tama. Mindfulness of being optimistic. Yes. Appreciate what you have. True. Nice. Okay, any more guys? I'm learning from today's webinar. Learn to acknowledge our emotions, true, and know how to respond to it. Yes, exactly. More mindful by paying attention to the way you respond to others in a more mindful manner. Okay, so this one is, according to Miss Maria Teresa Tomas, this one is a very practical way, no? Practical way on how we can apply mindfulness, being mindful or more mindful by paying attention to the way you respond to others. And next is know your priorities in life and focus on the present and those people surrounds you and always keep praying every day. And practicing mindfulness, they pull out our negative thoughts and stress in life so that we can live a happier life. Spread good vibes. Yes. Live at the moment. Live at the time. Attempt to deliberately bring an open, tolerating, and recognizing regard for all that you do. Next is pay attention to the present moment in a curious and non-judgmental way. Yes. So, any more, guys, sharing? Okay, I think none na. So, I just want to you, thank you guys for this time. And I want to give special thank you also to the organizer sa talk. It's such a wonderful 2 Mondays for me to be with you and to share what I have learned to you. And I hope and sana na this will not just be a learning but more so application talaga siya. And we just continue to practice. We may fail, yes, but again, we continue to stand up and practice again. Practice, practice, practice. Thank you so much for the privilege and to special thank you also to Miss Lovely Asur for inviting me to be your speaker.
Okay, thank you very much, Ma'am Don Zizet Fontal for sharing and enlighten us about how to become more mindful in our everyday life. Okay, so now let's witness an intermission number from the selected students.
Eh, 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 it's okay. Huh. Eh, oh yeah, shake body. Oh yeah, move body. Make you ring alarm. Oh yeah, shake body. Them girls just they feel me now, cause I get some money, then they feel me now. But then they do me anyhow. I don't get some money, they wanna get down. They want hold me for ransom, cause I'm young and I'm rich and I'm handsome. They want know where I come from. I they run since from Lagos to London. All the blessings and love I they see just they make me they shout hallelujah. I say all the blessings and love I they see just they make me they shout hallelujah. They hold me for ransom, cause I'm young and I'm rich and I'm handsome. They want hold me for ransom, cause I'm young and I'm rich and I'm handsome. Oh yeah, shake body. Oh yeah, move body. Make you ring alarm. Oh yeah, shake body. Oh yeah, shake body. Oh yeah, move body. Make you ring alarm. Oh yeah, shake body.
Hello, good morning. Do we still have Tomas?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So let's proceed to students' impression about the seminar.
Okay po. Okay, so let's proceed to an open forum. Who can share with us?
Hello.
Anyone?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes?
I would like to give my comments on this webinar, ma'am. Okay lang? Wala ko'y
Yes,
question.
yes,
Actually,
proceed.
fulfilled ako ang question na answer tanan. Okay? So I am Vladimir Altamoda from BS Ed Math 3. So to our kanang resource speaker, to all the teachers and students who are present in this webinar, a pleasant morning to all of us. So I am happy not to share to you some of my insights about how helpful this webinar to me and to all the kanang mga students nga ako ang masultian. So first of all, I would like to say thank you to our resource speaker, Ma'am Suzette Frontal, for making time no to share her kanang knowledge college, no,
Hello?
hello guys, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Okay po. So I am very grateful and satisfied with the information I received with this 2 session webinar. No, so I've learned a lot of things, especially how to cope up with stress and how to maintain our mental health and mental well-being. So I've learned also some facts about kanang stress, so sa mga kanang sources sa stress, how to cope up stress, and how to become productive despite sa ato ang situation karon. So just to recall some o kanang our previous topics, kanang mo to siya ako ang murag best lesson. So kanang how to self-care, how to take self-care, mo to siya. So mo to siya, so 5 man to. So ako lang ibalik ko no. So first is plan your daily activities. No, it is important nga kabalutan mo plano sa tuang kanang everyday nga pagkabuhaton kay mo to siya na ginaingon nga if you fail to plan then you plan to fail. So dapat naka-organize ato ang everyday activities para hanay na i-structure ang ato ang life. So second is lesson. Lesson kanang gamay kanang i-lesson LESSEN lessen your social media interactions no kay as we all know medyo toxic na kaayo ang kanang social media due to kanang mga mga bad nga nahitabo. Third is build relationship na it's important nga makabuhat ang relationship kung ano make use of your time nga mas productive mo, mas ma-engage mo sa inyong mga family, friends, virtually or personal nga kanang ano relationship, so okay kay na guys. Then fourth is always ask for or always seek for help. So it is important nga kabalot ang stress sa ato ang emotions kay para aware ang tao nga nakapalihod sa ato unsay tapang na ato ang need. And last is know your limit. So it's important nga kabalot sa mo limit sa ato ang kabalingod because according to golden rule, so not too much nor too little, just enough. So mo to siya guys. Thank you for listening, and I would like also to say thank you to Mom Lovely Astor for making this webinar possible. And Mom Lady Asuncion and Sir Takasan for the help in making this webinar successful. That's all guys.
Okay, thank you, Sir Vladimir Chamudra. Anyone, kinsa pa may gusto mo share diha sa ilahang mga natun-an ug sa unsa pay wala nila nasabtan? Sige daw. Napa? Miss Palakat? Ma'am Aries, basig na kay gusto i-share, ma'am. Wala na?
Yes, hello.
Okay, ma'am.
Good morning. Good morning, everyone. So, just like what Vladimir said about the webinar, I'm very grateful as well because it will really help us students to be mindful sa mga pangitabo, be mindful and kanang kuan jud kayo ang gipangingon sa mga sa speaker. So mao lang to siya.
Okay, thank you, Miss Palakat. Naapay gusto mag-share? Sige, ako na pod. So, as a fourth year student, no, so kami prone kayo sa stress, gyud dili jud siya malikayan jud kay daghan kayog mga paperworks nga pangbuhaton, activities, inana. So, kining webinar karon is helpful jud kayo siya, especially sa amua kay kanang makatabang gid siya kay ma-realize gid namo kung asa mi dapat nga part mag-focus, kung unsa dapat jud ay angay namo buhaton para ma-relieve ang stress. So, inana lang. So, thank you kayo sa to ang resource speaker karon na si Ma'am Don Zet Frontal. Thank you so much, Ma'am. Mo lang to. Okay, so wala na yung mag-share diha. Sure na gyud? Okay, so now let's proceed to the
Hello, how about Danica and VJ? I think they're also sharing something. Are still with us? Do we still have Danica and VJ Sumantan?
Wala lang signal.
Hello? Okay, I think they have issues with internet connection. So how about others? Jana Sarmiento.
Mama Sor,
Yes, nana si VJ. Sige.
mawala-wala kong signal, ma'am.
Okay, we can hear you na.
Okay pa. So, regarding to this webinar is I am grateful that nakapil ko ani nga webinar kay kanang makatabang gid siya nga maka-cope up ita kasi imong stress kay labaw na nang na mga activities nga kanang wala ka kahibalo unsaon kanang dili ka sure kung unsaon nimo pero kanang murag kanang kani siya nga webinar kay kanang iabit akong ginahatagan og kanang kuan nga makahibalo ka kung unsaon nimo pag-manage sa imong time, unsaon nimo pag-cope up nga kanang dili ka ma-stress jud og dili jud ka ma-stress sa imong studies og dili lang sa studies pod pati pod sa mga problema nga nasa imong mga surroundings. Wala ako, ma'am.
Okay, thank you. Naa pa?
Hello?
Okay. How about Mabel Milia?
Hello, madunggan ko.
Yes.
Yes.
I'm grateful kayo ko na nani siya na webinar since karon daghan kay kog kanang stress bitaw kay labi ning online class wala mi kuryente, wala po mi signal sa mua din kailangan pa ko manhi og ganang mubaba pa ko para makasignal din. Daghan po og mga buhaton tungod ani daghan kay kog nakatunan labi na kung unsaon nimo pag-cope up ang stress, ang unsaon nimo pag kanang being productive, being mindfulness kana lang ma'am.
Okay, thank you very much, students, for your positive response. And I would also like to take this opportunity to also thank our speaker, Ms. Dawn Suzette Frontal, even though amidst her schedule, she was able to pull it through. And also to our dear students who are with us since day one and who are also participating through YouTube link, Facebook links, and also with the PNEC coordinators together with our club president, Ms. Vladimir, and also with other GTO personnel such as Lady Roxanne Asuncion or Norman Takasan. It is true, class, that in life there's always be season of testing, trials, and endurance, and it's so important that we are mindful in every season of our life. Just like what Ma'am Karen said earlier, it's so important that we always enrich our life. And learning always inspires confidence. So um, don't be afraid to learn, because it will give you much more confidence that you will be needing if you really want to be successful in the future. So again, learning inspires confidence. Okay, thank you. I'll give back to
Okay, thank you very much, Ma'am Lovely Azur. So now let's proceed to the giving of certificate. May I request our peer mentor club president, Mr. Vladimir Chamudra.
Okay, while preparing for the certificate, let's read the Parahes from BSN English 3 is her impression. I'm very thankful for this given opportunity to be able to participate to this webinar session about mental health awareness. As a working student and a mother, I've been struggling a lot these days financially, spiritually, and emotionally. Because of this webinar, I was able to understand that no matter how I feel, it is indeed important to give myself a time to meditate, especially every morning, to calm my mind and be able to make decisions appropriately. Wow, that was very nice impression from Miss Laureline Coraje. Okay. Vladi, are you ready?
Yes, ma'am. So once again, good morning, everyone. So I am much privileged and honored to give this second certificate to our resource speaker. So let me read the citation first. Certificate of appreciation is presented to Don Suzette Y. Frontal, registered psychometrician, in grateful recognition of her valuable contribution as a resource speaker for integrating mindfulness to everyday life, a mental health concept day 2, given on the 16th day of November 2020 via Zoom teleconference. So signed, Karen Gay Esther Doblado, DBM Branch Director of Montevista Campus. Signed, Lovely B. Azur, Registered Psychometrician, Guidance and Testing Coordinator, Montevista Campus. And signed, Lady Roxanne G. Asuncion, Registered Psychometrician, Branch Psychometrician. So let's give a virtual applause to Ma'am Suzette Y. Frontal.
Okay, thank you. Okay, thank you so much, Mr. Vladimir Tamudra. To formally close this webinar, may I request our branch psychometrician, Ma'am Lady G. Asuncion.
Okay, let's proceed to the registration and evaluation form. Again, reminding everyone that only students who are able to join the Zoom and able to fill out the registration evaluation form is entitled for e-certificate. So if you have no questions, I am closing this webinar, and thank you very much for your participation. Have a good day.
Thank you, Ma'am. Have a
I
good
also
day,
like to
everyone.
take this
God bless us all.
opportunity
May I
to
request
give
everyone for
appreciation
documentation?
and commendation to our MC, our Masters of Ceremony. Inspired her busy schedule also, she was able to give us very good a job in facilitating our program. Thank you so much, Miss Tamas.
May I request everyone to show your videos for our documentation?
Goodbye, everyone.
Bye, ma'am.
Okay, smile everyone. Okay, next. Okay, tapos na. Thank you so much, guys. I hope you learned something today.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you.
Bye.